Now we're going to add sound to our sketch. There's a component on the Awesome Shield hardware called the buzzer, which is really great at making sounds. Let's check out the reference documents for this component. I'll go to learn.awesomeshield.com, click Reference, and then look at the buzzer component. Here's the page that's all about the buzzer. The buzzer's a simple speaker, and it can make sounds. That sounds like exactly what we need. The first function, awesome.buzzer.turnOn, looks like it could be the function we need to turn on the buzzer. The page says that this function turns the buzzer on so that it makes a sound, and it takes an input, which is an integer called frequency. A higher number of this input will make a higher pitched sound, and we usually use numbers between 300 and 600. Now that we know that the buzzer is the component we need, and awesome.buzzer.turnOn is the function we need, let's add some code to our sketch to turn on the buzzer. Let's try turning on the buzzer right after the LED turns on to red. We can add in a new line of code just under this line of code by clicking at the end of the line and then typing enter or return. We want to use the awesome.buzzer.turnOn function. So I'll type awesome.buzzer.turnOn. Just like with the LED, the function name starts with a lowercase letter, and then new words in the name of the function after that are uppercase. Which, of course, brings us to camels. In programming, you often need to take a bunch of words and combine them together into one word. When you capitalize the first letter of each word that you're squishing together, that's called camel case, because the letters go up and down like the humps on a camel's back. If you do this, but you don't capitalize the first letter of the first word, that's called lower camel case, and that's what we do with function names and coding for Arduino. Once you've added this line of code to your sketch, try uploading it and seeing what it does. Great, the buzzer's working. You can always unplug the USB cable from Arduino and Awesome Shield to turn them off. If the buzzer sound is annoying you, this will stop it. Make sure you plug the cable back in if you want to turn on Arduino and Awesome Shield again. You'll need to plug the USB cable back in before you can upload a new sketch. But we want the pitch of the buzzer, that's how high or low the sound is, to change when the light flips from being red to blue. We can change the pitch of the buzzer, or how high or low the sound is, by giving the buzzer turn on function an input. Remember, inputs go between the two round brackets that are after a function. And from the reference document page, we can see that the input for the buzzer turn on function should be a number somewhere between 300 and 600. Let's try 300 and see what that sounds like. Once you've typed 300 into the round brackets after the buzzer turn on function, try uploading your code so that you can hear what it sounds like. We want the buzzer to change its sound when the light changes to blue. When we write code inside the loop function, the Arduino follows the instructions we've written line by line, going from the top down to the bottom, and then it repeats, starting back up at the top again. So if we want two things to happen almost exactly at the same time, we should write the code that makes them happen on two lines that are right next to each other, with no delay between. The Arduino thinks and acts really quickly, so if two lines are right next to each other, with no delay between them, they'll happen almost exactly at the same time. Let's add another line of code after LED turn on blue that turns on the buzzer and sets it to a different frequency, which is much higher than 300. First I'll type awesome, so Arduino knows we're using a component on the Awesome Shield hardware. Then I'll type buzzer to tell it which component we're using, and then turn on, which is the function we need. And we want to give this function an input, which is a number that's much higher than 300. The reference documents suggest using a number between 300 and 600. So I'm going to try 600 here, and we can see how that sounds. Let's try uploading this code and seeing what it does with the hardware. So, the light flashes red and blue, and the buzzer makes a sound that goes higher and lower. We got the siren working. Fantastic. It probably could sound a little more, siren-y, though. I think it would sound better if it ran a little bit faster. See if you can adjust the input into the delay function to make your siren run faster and sound a little bit more siren-y. Remember, the input into the delay function is the number of milliseconds. 1,000 milliseconds is 1 second. So if you make these numbers smaller, the amount of time that goes by before the Arduino switches from red and the low sound to blue and the high sound will be shorter, which will make the whole thing run faster. In the next section, we'll customize the siren even more.